Cultural Revolution, China, and today I want to speak about the helmet revolution, which has some aesthetic parts which you cannot find in political revolutions. Okay. In general, if there is a new idea in chess, we have this single line solution in longer helpmates, for instance indoor, muscular theme. Then later, in the later stadium, we have the double setting, mostly orthogonal, diagonal correspondence, and the B-colored variations, and combinations with other themes. But in a later stadium, we have reciprocal presentations of a theme. Probably late because these are very difficult, or is extremely difficult to realize. And of course, you have to deal with a new subject. And this was in Middle Helpmate Inder, and now we are speaking about Rema. The helpmate revolution deals with moves which crosses critical or anti-critical squares. That means line combinations, such as indoor, muscular theme, or Rem theme. This was invented about 30 years ago, and here you see probably the first incomplete reciprocal Rema. This was in the solving tournament in Andernach, 2014. And of course it is a collaboration between Fadil and me, the so-called father problems. We both work on a theme, and whatever we compose will be published under our two names. And it doesn't matter who works more or who works less, or even sometimes not at all. All these problems of a certain project are father problems. So maybe I show you now the Rema. Oops, where are the pieces?
You want to make moves on the screen?
No, that's here you see the white bishop on d5 and the black queen on c6. These are the two thematic pieces. Here we have color in inverse. Rema is a piece, a line piece, moves around another piece, and both move in the same direction. This is, of course, a help play theme. But this is only the incomplete Rema. The complete Rema would be if this queen starts from here, crossing the anticritical square, and now the pericritical maneuver, and then both work in the same direction. So here we have in Helpmate the first realization of the incomplete Rema, because Is there somebody who can play the moves? Can you do that?
Okay.
So the solution, the first solution of this problem is bishop c4. Stipulation is helpmate in 3.5. Bishop c4, beginning of the anticritical maneuver. King takes g2. Bishop is a6. King f3. Bishop b7. The anticritical, the pericritical maneuver is finished. Queen e4 and bishop e4 mate. That was one solution. So you see, this is incomplete because the what is this? I'll go back to the yeah, this was it. It would be a complete Riemann maneuver if the queen starts from a8. Don't do that. Go to the initial position. No. Go to the initial position. Bishop on d. Yes, thank you. So if we had to move queen e8 to c6 and then the bishop goes around, that would be a complete Riemann. So now the second solution, king f4, queen c4, king g3, queen e4, pericritical maneuver is finished, king h2, queen g2, check, and bishop takes. So in this second solution, white pawn on g2 is captured. So please go back to the initial position. Here we see the pericritical maneuver of the black queen and the constructional pawn g2, which is captured, but it has nothing to do with theme, but with correctness. And the judge, Eckhard Kummer, said it would have even been nicer to have it without this capture. And of course it would have been more aesthetic. And if you tell Fadil that the problem of his production is not 100% aesthetic, you get an answer in squared form. That means in a diagram. So please, the second diagram. This problem was in the solving tournament in Andernach, and you know, in Andernach we never give the number of solutions, and not so many people found those solutions in the solving tournament. So now Fadil's reaction on Eckhard Kummer's comment that the capture of the pawn is not that nice. Here we have a helpmate in 4, not in 3.5, and there is a twin. Twin is with a black knight g2, but yes, 24, but first we show this solution. Solution is helpmate in 4. That means we have one move more and not any capture of a pawn. Queen c4, f4, pawn f4, queen e4, king f2, king h1, and one move longer, the move which is added is f2, f4 in order to open the line for the white king. So second solution with black knight on b2. For knight f4. Bishop e6. King g2. Bishop c8. King f3. Bishop b7. Knight e4.
Queen.
Misprint. Bishop, yes, queen, and bishop takes queen. Without capture, by the way. And in a more economical position as the one before. So, what about the king? Königsdisziplin. Is it king discipline? John? Royal, sorry, of course I should have known. Royal discipline. What about complete Römer in helpmate? I would like to confess that it is not possible. Even not with zero position and all this funny twinning. So, you all know, when I cannot find a good position or cannot find a good realization in a helpmate, I switch to help selfmate. But even in help selfmate, the reciprocal lemma was not at all easy. I fear now you have a problem with a fairy piece, but you put the second queen. Or can you have fairy pieces?
I do not. So
Okay,
we'll have to move on.
No, second queen. These people know how to deal with. Or can you make a neutral queen? No. No, make two queens.
The problem is
The third one.
it's the queen will not be able to move like the double grasshopper. The program will not let it.
Okay, let's try it. Maybe it's better on this screen. The next one will be orthodox. So, I was trying to find a fairy condition, or even more than one, or a fairy piece, which, with which I could realize the reciprocal lemma. And the first attempt, or the first approach, was to try it with a double grasshopper, which is on A6. By the way, all the four problems you see today, in all four problems, the kings, the black and the white king move. That means we always have different mating squares in the two helpmates and now in the two help selfmates. I will show you. So A6 is a double grasshopper, and you probably know double grasshopper moves like this. It does not guard here, but guards here. Or like this. It does not guard here, but only here. And so on. The problem is the move determination, the order of move, without dual. And here we have the two pieces which are going to make the reciprocal lemma, is black bishop e4 and white queen a8. And unfortunately the program does not play with the double grasshopper, but maybe I can show you the first solution without moving the double grasshopper.
I can try moving it.
Yeah, you can change it. Yeah.
I just change the position.
Yes. So, the first move, it is a help self-made in 4. The first move is a white move because black mates the white king. And the first move is the anti-critical introduction or move, queen a8 to c6. And black starts with a pericritical maneuver. Black bishop e4 to g5. f5, sorry. Now the king to white king to f3. Change place. Bishop to c8. Bishop e2. White bishop e2. Bishop b7. Black bishop b7, anti-pericritical maneuver finished, and queen e4 check. So in this position, and this was one reason why I have chosen double grasshopper, not for move determination, but for cook stopping. This position, the black double grasshopper, a6, guards via c8, c3. And that's why the black bishop must go to b7, not it's difficult to explain. It is not, it is Zweckrein, but on the other hand, to avoid cooks without bishop to c7, the square c3 is not guarded. So, after this check by the queen, the double grasshopper guards also c5 via a3, and c3 via c8. So, this is a check, and black bishop takes queen and mate. Why it is mate? Well, it is easy to see. Quite orthodox. So now back to the position. One difficulty is in the second solution, you all guess that the first black move is, what is the first black move? Bishop to b7. But white, no, that is not that is the first black move, but white begins. But you must find a move in order to have pure determination that the pericritical maneuver of the white queen a8 to c6 must be dual free. So the only way at that stadium I thought was to make a line opening for the white queen. So the key now is double grasshopper a6 to d3 via g6. This is of course not a check, but it guards several squares you will see later, and it blocks d3 for the white king. So now we have the first black move, bishop b7, queen a6, and queen a6, a double grasshopper d4 cannot be interchanged. King, black king, e4, queen c6, king f4, queen f3. Check. And now you see that the double grasshopper c3 blocks the square, the flight square for the white king, and guards g5 via g3. And bishop takes queen. Wait. You see the same principle? Two different squares of black and white king in the two solutions. And the challenge was to have this without twin. And this could be realized with a double grasshopper, which is a very strange piece, very difficult to handle, and there is a theme tournament for Klaus Wender 75. This was composed 1 week before the tournament was announced. So this is dedicated to Klaus for that reason. So now we come to the last problem. Of course I wanted to avoid fairy pieces, and I thought it was not possible. But then I started with a twinning, with a special twinning. The twinning had to fulfill many things at the same moment, and it should be not the zero position or some strange things which are not so common. So here we have a help self-mate in 4. Yes, these two are the protagonists. And the twinning is white pawn c3 to g4. And this is the first reciprocal Rema in help self-mate in 4 without fairy pieces. And the twinning, I really started with the twinning. The black pawn, the white pawn on c3 fulfills fulfills 2 points, 2, what is it? Functions, yes, that's the word. It guards c4, so that the black king cannot enter this square, and it blocks d3, so that the white king has a flight, a block, and not a flight. And the pawn on g4, the white pawn on g4 fulfills two functions. It prevents the move queen to g4, and it prevents the move rook g1 to g5. The move, the rook maneuver, rook here takes, and here is not possible because the white king wants to go there. You will see later. So now let's go to the position A with white pawn. And we have The first white move, help self-mate in 4, white begins, queen, G, F5. Rook, C1. Not C4. King, B5. Rook, G1. King, C4. Rook, G5. And queen, C5.
C5 and rook C5. Rook C5.
And rook takes. So this was a rundlauf by the black rook and some kind of Indian maneuver too, but it was of course a complete Bremer with the white queen from H5 to F5, crossing the critical square G5. And so please go back to the position, the initial position. The problem in this construction was everything looks very open, especially the middle of the board, where these maneuvers happen. And there are extremely strong hooks. For instance, rook to C8, without that knight, rook to C8, and later comes back and takes the queen with check. Or rook to A5 comes back, or rook to this way around. All this should be avoided, and I managed to avoid all these cooks by the rook, with only one cook stopper on the left side. You will see later. Of course, this one is necessary, and this one to avoid other queen moves. Now we come to the second solution, pawn to G4. Now we have the same problem as the double grasshopper problem. The maneuver needs only 3.5 moves, but of course we want to start with a black move. First black move should be rook C5 to G5, but we need the first white move. And this move must be a move which cannot be played in the second, later. The second white move is queen G6, the second one. Don't you play it. That means this is a check, and black cannot move rook to G5 because the king, now the black king, must go to C4. It would interfere with the black rook. So the first white move is rook E7 to C7. It's a very strange gift from somewhere. It is a block. Because we don't need the white rook to guard the flights of the black king, because the black king goes to C4. Now black plays rook to G5, queen G6 check, not F7, because the white king wants to go, the black king wants to go to C5. What do you have? Queen check, king D5, queen F5, king C4, and now we see the black pawn, the white pawn D3 is not there, so it works, and we don't need the white block on C4 because it's the black king now, not the white king who So now we have
Yes.
queen b5, and rook takes b5, and now we see the white rook has to block this square. Yes, and the white pawns and the black pawns have their function. The white pawns guard and of course prevent different routes for the white rook. And all this together was at the end not only a kiss by Kaiser, but also a kiss by Fortuna. And of course I sent this problem to Fadil. I said, here is the first realization of our new father problem. And he said, the scheme is quite intelligent and probably unique. And usually, we publish all our results of a series of problems under the name father, but in this special case, he insisted we should have an exception. And he didn't accept any Widerspruch. Is it? Objection, yes. This problem should be published only with my name, but of course I had to insist that it is dedicated to his 77th birthday. Thank you. By the way, this guy is fantastic.